Hi, it's Dean from Triple E and Leisure Travel Vans. We get lots of requests for a factory tour. Well, we're going to show you one right now. We have over 250,000 square feet of manufacturing, over 20 acres of land here in beautiful downtown Winkler, Manitoba. We're going to have a quick look through the entire plant. We're going to do this in 15 minutes because that's all we get from YouTube. Let's go look at the plant right now. This is where it all starts. We're in our welding shop. We bring the chassis in and we start to work on them. We build on 3 different chassis. We build on a Ford, we build on a GM, Chevy, and we build on a Mercedes-Benz. Let's have a look at the welding shop. Once all the raw pieces are cut and bent, then we have to make them into components. As you can see here, we got galvanized sheet metal heating ducts, and then over here we got our galvanized compartments. Over in this area is where we do all of our welding for our Unity and our Regency. Steel frame floors and aluminum frame walls. Now we have to assemble the chassis. This is where we put in all the welded pieces and all the bolted pieces to the chassis. Compartments, tanks, propane tanks, copper for your propane lines, batteries, generator, freshwater tanks, all get done in this area here. Once the chassis is completed, everything's been assembled in the chassis here in the welding shop, then it has to be driven over to our assembly area. We're going to have a look at that in a moment, but first, let's go look at the Fiberglass Department. We're in the Fiberglass Department right now. This is where we make all of our fiberglass components. Front mass, fender skirts, we make the entire body for the Libero and the Serenity. Let's have a look at this area. Stage 1 in the Fiberglass Department is to spray in the gel coat, then we spray a vinyl ester barrier coat, then we spray in our chop and resin. Once all the chop and resin is completed, you can see here, here's our Serenity wall. It's curing right now. Our Serenity roof, all getting ready for manufacturing. As you can see, all of these molds are curing. Every single fiberglass piece needs its own mold. We have our own mold makers in-house that make all of our own molds, and all of these ones here are now curing, getting ready to be popped out and going over for the assembly plant. We're gonna have a look at that soon. Once the fiberglass is cured long enough, it comes into our big vacuum area here where we trim it, clean it all up, get it ready for assembly, cut out different holes. For example, here's our Serenity roof. Once all the holes have been cut out for different windows and vents, we then have to sand out the entire fiberglass body. We're up in our Upholstery Department. This is where we do all of our upholstery work that goes in every single unit. We do cushions, we do valances made of solid wood, of course, and we do all of our bedspreads. Anything that gets upholstered gets done in this department. We're in our electrical department now. This is where we do all of our electrical wiring harnesses for the units. We all are done on a CNC stamping machine. Each wire is stamped and of course made out into a wiring harness for assembly in the plant. All the wiring is done to a wiring schematic and it's laid out on the table because it has to be exactly the right length when it goes to the assembly line. Now let's have a look at the mill shop. This is where we build all of our cabinets. Everything is built in-house. Stage 1 in the mill shop is to get all the wood cut properly. We only use CNC saw machines and CNC routers. Everything is exactly cut to the exact dimensions that we need. We use a variety of solid woods in our mill shop. Cherry wood, maple wood. This machine is responsible for pre-drilling all of our wood. As a consumer, when you're looking at RVs, this is what you see on the front facing. They all kind of look the same. You don't get to see the pre-drilling and the screwing of the wood all together. It'll never crack when you're going down the road. Once all the wood is pre-drilled, we then staple it to hold it. It then gets pressed and then screwed together. 1 inch, 1 screw, 2 inches, 2 screws. In this area here is where we make all of our small wood components. As you can see, they're all solid wood. You don't see that in anybody else's product. In this area of the mill shop is where we make all of our countertops. We either use 3/4 inch solid plywood countertops or solid Corian countertops, all done in-house. Once all the raw pieces are cut and stained, then they come over to our component area where we make them into cabinets. Then this all goes to the factory line for assembly into the unit. We're now in our sandwich department. This is where we vacuum bond all of our walls, roof, and floor. They're vacuum bonded at 8 water columns per square foot or over 1,000 foot-pounds of pressure. have a little slide out floor here, same floor that we use in our motorhomes. All steel frame, vacuum bonded, very strong. Now we've kind of been through all of our sub-assembly areas. Now we're going to go to the line where we assemble the product. We have 3 different assembly lines that build our EE and leisure travel van units. Ready? Hi, we're on line 1. This is the first part of our assembly process now that we've got the chassis from the welding department. In this line, we build our vans and our wide body vans. First part is to get the unit fully insulated, get all of our electrical wiring done, and start building this unit. So this is stage 1 of our wide body assembly. As you can see, we have to put the entire fiberglass body onto the cabin chassis. We now jumped over to line 2 just to show you our manufacturing process on this one. This is where we build our Unity and our Regency lines of GTs and Class Cs. We build these from the inside out. People talk about their plumbing in an RV, but it's a very important part of an RV, as we all know. As you can see, we use PEX water lines, we use vibration dampers, we use plastic bend support so the lines won't cavitate. And look at this, here's all of our wiring. Look at this. Good thing that we stamp all that wire and we know exactly what that wire is doing in the unit. Once all the components are inside the unit, now we got to put the walls on. As you can see, we've got our insulated rear mast getting ready to be put on. And then we also got to put the roof on next. Here's an example of our roof from our sandwich department. As you can see, it's fully vacuum bonded. It's a fiberglass flex roof. You can see how much it can bend. That's incredible. Plus, look at the insulation. You have almost 5 inches of insulation. We're back on line 1 now. As you can see, we're starting to put in all of the cabinets. Most of the cabinets are now in. As you can see, we do them also in maple wood and cherry wood. Our unit's getting closer to being built now. We're almost off the assembly line. As you can see, all the cabinets are in. Refrigerator, microwave, our solid surface countertops. Got to put in our skylight. This is the last stage of the assembly area before it goes over to our service department for rain testing, fog testing, and for urethane spray foaming. As you can see here, they've got the electric sofa in. We do this in-house, as we mentioned earlier, all done in ultra leather. What a beautiful, beautiful look. Now that we've got our roof on, our walls are on, now we have to put the slide out in. Next part is to put the slide out in. Last step on line 2 before we send it over to our service department for water testing and urethane spray foaming is to put on our beautiful solid wood cherry doors. We're over in our rain testing department. All the units get a full water and rain test. We test all the sealants. We also test all compartments to make sure that there's no rain getting in the unit. This is the last stage of our manufacturing process, our paint department. We have 4 operating paint booths. Pretty much every single unit gets painted. We use 3 coats of color and 1 beautiful coat of clear. Stage 1, we have to prep the unit. We have to sand it all down and we have to mask all parts that don't get painted. Second part of the paint process is to put on our first coat of base color. Stage 3 is to put our stenciling on for our graphic design. Next part then is we have to paint it. We use 3 coats of color and 1 coat of clear. The last stage in the manufacturing process is our final finish area. This unit is just coming out of the paint department. It's all ready to go to you, our final customer. Dean from Leisure Travel Vans, thank you for watching our EE Leisure Travel Van factory tour.